welcome to the BNB Hague Abu Dhabi online workshop. Today we will explore the Web3 for luxury and tourism and how blockchain is transforming luxury experiences, tourism infrastructure, payment, loyalty, and so on. Today we have two amazing projects joining us today, Aaron and Nunu Pay. So who will be share their insights, experience, and the real use case. Then first, let's welcome our speaker, Mike, VP of Partnership and Research from Aeon. Hi, Mike.
Hi, nice to see you, everybody. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you today, and over to you.
Yeah, of course. So today I want to share a small presentation that I made, and I want to talk to you about what is the core topic of what we discussed, which is tourism, luxury, and crypto payments in the UAE, or in other words, how builders can actually fix real problems in travel and in shopping. So I want to start with a small story. And this is a true story that happened to me in real life not long ago. I was in Dubai for Blockchain Live just about a month ago. And I was there with some friends. And in one of the off days, just before the conference, I met this friend, and we were going to Dubai Mall because she wanted to buy some shoes. And she went to the store, talked with the merchant, everything was great. But then when it came to pay with her card unfortunately was declined, unfortunately failed. And the merchants wanted to, help her out, so they tried with a different card. But unfortunately, that also failed. And by the end of it, she just walked out without her purse and and without the shoes. So we were after that at dinner for a little bit together, and we were talking, and we were like, it would be so much more convenient to be able to pay with just crypto and with stable coins, and it would be much easier of an experience. And unfortunately, that wasn't possible in that instance. But of course, he highlighted very much how today there is a problem, and this particularly matters in the UAE because, as you know, the United Arab Emirates are one of the top global tourism hubs. There is high luxury spending per visitor, and obviously, crypto adoption is racing year on year. So people are trying, but also government are trying to get closer and closer to crypto and effectively promote the digital asset innovation. Give me a moment. I may have like a little problem. Let me try to reshare the screen. So for this, some technical difficulty of the presentation just closed. Here we go. And obviously, as I was saying, the tourists especially, they face a lot of friction when it comes to payment. Imagine that airport and mall kiosks, they usually charge 7 to 12% in spread when it comes to converting fees. And even in case of using dynamic currency conversion, the charges are quite high. Cards, international cards especially, they get rejected all the time, and this is usually because of some risk controls that banks have. So about 15 to 25%, depends on the country, of international transaction they actually get declined, and this makes it so cash is still king. And around 40% of purchases above $5,000, which are very common, as you know, in Dubai, in the luxury market, they're still settled in cash. And, as much as, we all love cash, it's kind of weird to go around just with $5,000 or $10,000 in cash. And if you want to buy a car, or if you want to buy, something that is particularly expensive, you don't want to carry all that cash around with you. Crypto obviously is the solution, but at the same time, on and off ramping for crypto usually take between 1 and 3 days. And the fees of on and off ramping are also very high, between like 1%, 1.5% to even like 2.5, 3% in certain cases. In the end, this all contributes to like a 10% drop of tourist spending in home currency, and obviously this hurts local businesses and it hurts tourism as an industry worldwide. So with Ian, we found that there was like a very, very clear gap where crypto is liquid and is global, and merchants want clean settlement in local currency, while tourists expect obviously fast checkout, but at the same time, this is not possible. And all the regional rails, they are very fragmented and they're very difficult to make up a good strategy for, because of the different regulation and the different compliance rules. And so this is exactly where we think that builders can create value, and this is where we created some value with our solution, which is called EonPay. EonPay allows any wallet to be connected with a local QR payment or with bank rails directly. Therefore, with any wallet, you could pay merchants, and the merchants will just receive their local currency. There is one QR code to scan, no matter where you are in the world. There's one application. You just scan the QR, and your payment is settled in seconds across any token and any chain. We now support a huge number of chains, over like 40 chains between EVM, Solana Virtual Machine, Cosmos, and non-EVM chains like Tron. We support hundreds of tokens and counting. So we're always adding new ways to pay. And all of this happens with just 0.8% fees across the board. So no matter which rail you're using, no matter which like chain or token you're using, the maximum fee is 0.8%. We're already live in 30 million merchants plus across Southeast Asia and Latin America, but we're expanding very, very soon to the UAE with the obviously BNB Chain as our settlement layer there for a bunch of transactions that's happening in the Middle East. The way that Eon works is very, very simple, to be honest with you. It's very straightforward. There's a lot of work that obviously goes behind the scenes in terms of architecture, but it's just 5 simple steps. A visitor goes to a merchant, they scan a QR code that is displayed on the point of sale, and then they pick a wallet or an exchange account, and they sign the payment. From that moment on, Eon takes over, and like we do everything on our end. So we settle on chain, and then we handle all the effects and the on and off ramping for the transaction, so that the merchants receives fiat. All of this happens within a matter of seconds. So we're talking about 2 seconds, 3 seconds maximum. So this is an instant settlement, and allows effectively people to have the best of both worlds. So you can purchase something, you don't have to wait for like swapping and bridge timings and all these kind of things, but at the same time you can pay with crypto, and you actually can connect your wallet or your Binance account or your a centralized exchange or custodial wallet or whatever, bring it whatever you want. Being this a hackathon, obviously we have some tips for builders, and I am an engineer by trade. I started my engineering career in 2005, so I love to build stuff. And the very first few use cases that we're thinking about when it comes to utilizing our API and our SDK is, for example, to have travel wallets with instant on and off ramping, right? Or having crypto checkout for booking and tours. We did very recently actually a very interesting project with X402 and AI payment. We created the very first BNB Chain facilitator for X402, and one of our demo was actually a crypto checkout for booking a flight and a hotel. We have, you can create QR pay for guides or KOLs, right? Or small merchants, so people that carry actually a POS with them, right? But also loyalty programs and reward application. And especially, with the larger transactions that now are happening more and more in the UAE and in the luxury market, you need more payment methods. For example, you could have a concierge bot that handle payments end to end for all of these transactions. So just to give you some ideas, the possibility of interacting with the Eon API and what we already saw in the ecosystem with our integration are quite endless, and they're very, very prominent. These are some of them for you to take inspiration, but feel free to just come up with your own idea. I would just say build something that a tourist can use the same day. Is something that doesn't require long registration process, doesn't require long onboarding processes, and of course use BNB Chain for fast and secure settlements. We worked for a very long time with BNB. That was one of the very first chains that we deployed to, and we have a fantastic relationship with Binance. And I would encourage all of you to try pursue the same, because it's really a great chain to do this type of transaction and this type of payment settlement. Obviously, be careful, because there's also some watch out that I wanted to call, mostly being this financial and being this effectively PayFi, the local regulation and the local rules, they matter a lot, even for prototypes, right? You don't want to be in a situation where you create a prototype, maybe works great in theory, but then you have a problem with regulation or a problem with compliance that will effectively block the scaling if you ignore it. So if you address it soon, and if you address it quickly, then it's going to be much easier for you to scale your application in the future. Furthermore, I would say keep the flow simple, keep the user experience simple. Keep in mind that tourists, they are not necessarily the most tech savvy of people. So when we created Eon, we wanted something that was very, very immediate. Scan the QR, click, approve the payment, that's done. I would say something similar would be the best user experience also for your projects when it comes to effectively having a streamlined user experience for non-technical people. As well as obviously test. So test inside malls, test inside hotels and airports, try to get like early adopters and try to figure out how people are using your application in real life. That's very important, because in theory, on a whiteboard or on Figma, stuff works in a certain way, but then when people actually encounter the day-to-day usage of your application, it's completely different. And that feedback at a very early stage is crucial and is very, very valuable. And finally, avoid, I would say, any like complex on-chain step. So anything that has to do with connecting wallets to a DApp or the other, or trying to go through a long bridging or swapping assets or stuff like that. Eon solves a lot of this problem, but we wanted to eliminate all that complexity. And I would just say that any application in Web3 nowadays should aim to eliminate that complexity. We are moving towards a blockchain usage that is done by much, much less technical people every day. And all of these, slippage and chains and wallet addresses is now something that facilitates mass adoption. To wrap up, thank you so much for your time. I think that tourism in the UAE has been ready for a while, and the UAE is becoming one of the most important luxury and tourism destination in the world. And now with Eon payments are too. Best of luck in the hackathon. I'm very curious to see the project that you come up with. And of course, if you have any questions, do reach out to us via Twitter or via our Telegram channels, and we're very happy to help with the integration with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, for your great insights and sharing. And AI is helping make crypto payments easier and smarter with AI. And it's great to have you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And next, let's welcome Pavlo, CPO of NunuPay. Hi, Pavlo. Hi. We cannot hear you.
Now, do you hear me?
Yes.
Amazing. Hi again. My name is Pablo. I'm happy to represent LunoPay at this meeting and share our view on the crypto payments, since this is the very new industry and very new activity that we are piloting in. Of course, since we are in the same business and into the same activity like Aeon, and many things what Mike shared recently are actually similar to what I would be representing now. Nevertheless, I'll try to point it to more key points that we see can be useful to take into account. So basically, where we are now, the current state, we are now in the market phase where we have, based on different sources, between 6 and 800 million crypto users worldwide. But those are the people that are doing everyday purchases and paying for bills and any other expenses with using traditional payment methods mostly. And among those payment methods, we can highlight digital wallets like Apple, Google Pay, Alipay, WeChat Pay, PayPal, etc. There are credit cards, bank transfers, and of course, cash is still taking significant share in the payment space. But it's important to note that every innovation and every progress comes from the improvement and optimization of the existing processes. Means we have a payment process in traditional currency, and when we see that it's lacking of some better experience, of course, then with the time we see some better solution on the market. The cryptocurrency looks like a solution for the gaps that were previously faced by using traditional payment methods. It's instant, it's borderless, it's limitless, and many other benefits that we can count there. They're all about crypto. Yeah, just 1 second. So yeah, let's just quickly about the issues that that people are having or were having when paying with the traditional payment methods. There are still, so first of all, there are limitations. Our experience as a company, we are a German company based in Berlin, and imagine when we doing some corporate expenses via card or bank transfer, there is very often bank is coming after some evidence or explanation on the transfer, even it's 50,000 euros. Imagine for the company, 50,000 euros is not a big amount of money to pay for something, but still the bank is withholding the money and asking for you the questions. And if you need to do several of such transfers, then this is some operational demand that you need to take care of. Another thing is that not all of the cards are accepted everywhere. Not all of the places accepting alternative payment methods or digital wallets like PayPal, etc. So there is always something to consider when talking about payment coverage. Interesting that we are used to think that only currency conversion is something related to cryptocurrency, but in the traditional world, people when traveling especially, and luxury and travel is usually very connected. People are, let's say, paying with the card from Singaporean bank in Europe, and this is where the transaction is getting converted from one currency to another, and some higher fees to be connected with it. So this way, when you buy some luxury goods for 10K, imagine the fee can reach maybe half to up to 1% easily, just because wrapping one fiat currency to another. Yeah. So we have now said, like, let's take the average 700 million users worldwide. Those people, as I said at the beginning, are having very normal behavior, like a customer behavior in terms of like what to buy and where to spend. So cryptocurrency becomes the asset not only for trading or investment, but also for day-to-day life. So their ideal wish, like Mike given in his example with the shoes in Dubai, that's one of the goals, I would say, because it's very convenient when you are at the point of sale. It doesn't matter online or in store, and you are able to select between different payment methods. And crypto is one of those, especially when we see that like the big share of world population is now having this asset. So that's the current state. That's how it looks on the market right now. And what is the Lunu solution here? If can I switch to another presentation? Just thank you. Yeah. So at Lunu we are building the solutions for exactly retail, luxury, travel, those businesses that are mostly desired by crypto holders to be connected to crypto payments. We've built crypto widget, the widget for the web stores that can be easily implemented into the web shop of the merchant, or can be called via pay by link solution for the customer orders as well. It allows customers to seamlessly select the wallet they would like to use for the payment, then select the cryptocurrency they would like to utilize, and scan the QR code. At the same time, we provide a Lunu POS device, which is designed specifically for luxury industry. You can see it here. It is very sleek and unique, with impression that it's something more precious and made for payments in luxury. And when we talk about cryptocurrency, it's another benefit of it. The user flow is very same. The person wants, I'll just jump here to the flow actually. So the person is coming to the store, again, online or offline. After selecting the wallet and the currency type, they scan the QR code, and Lunu system is screening the transaction in the mempool in the blockchain. Then, of course, all of the AML procedures are kept as required. So we do the KYC and the transaction monitoring where needed as per local regulations. Then once everything is okay, we execute the conversion between the cryptocurrency the customer sent and the fiat currency that we need to deliver to the merchant. For that, we are using different liquidity providers and exchanges. And once fiat is converted, we settle money to the business, to the merchant. Overall process takes it depends between 20 seconds to maybe 1 minute. Depends on the amount, on the deepness of the KYC, etc. But at the same time, it's the same user experience overall, like you have with paying by card, for example. Yeah, and about the widget. The widget works seamlessly, as I said, all across the platforms, can be integrated through the API or called via the existing plug and play into different CMS platforms, like you can see Shopify, Salesforce, and many others, top platforms already having our plugin, and merchants can easily integrate it, activate it by installing it via the link. Yeah, so at the moment we serve more than 350 premium merchants across the globe, mostly in Europe, because we are Europe-based. And the overall customer base of those merchants is over 10 million customers. Means they can conveniently purchase any luxury good, watch, whatever, or service, book an hotel, by paying with cryptocurrency. And for the traditional network of POS devices powered by brands like Ingenico and Pax, we have built an POS application that can be deployed across existing chain of the merchants. This way, the merchants are not required to change to our POS device, but simply install one more app into their device and start accept payments immediately. This step is also something that we see as a better solution for the merchants that are not sure in terms of okay, I don't know, do I need these crypto payments? Will I be are there any fees associated, and whether it's something for me? So they have the chance to test it seamlessly and I would say very, very conveniently. In terms of technology, I would just go back again here. We use our own infrastructure that is built and connected to exchanges, AML tools, to the banks and EMI platforms. This way we ensure that all of the full chain of the transaction is executed and managed completely by our company. And as I said, we are based in Europe, and in Europe is our place of regulation that enables us to execute transactions between fiat currencies and cryptocurrencies. At this point, what I would like to share to builders, since this is something can be useful for them as well. I'm in the company since 7 years almost, and in every startup and every company that is growing, during the years you are doing different activities, like from sales till to product, to whatever, even accounting or support is sometimes managed by you. But that also helps you to better understand the need and also to navigate through the challenges that you have at the beginning. So it's very common that when starting, you are imagining who is your customer, what is the customer need, and etc. Instead of that, I recommend you to hear the customer. So once you know what you build and like in terms of what you would like to build, but for the details, I recommend to hear your customers, just to be closer to them. Then you will see, okay, then the product is like need to fulfill these and these gaps and be like in so-called user experience that is expected by your customer base. Yeah, and stay compliant. If you are talking about payments, the compliance is something that definitely need to be taken part, and but there'll have to be a balance between compliance and the business, because of course the user flow and the user experience is a crucial part for every business. So my recommendation will be to find this balance between staying compliant and being light and easy in terms of user experience. And the third recommendation I would give is about start with sales early, because diving deeper and isolating yourself from the outer world is an option, but it's dangerous because the trend and understanding of the market can go on different way from what you are building. And the ideal way is to, during first iterations of the product, already like touching the market, having the feedback and adjusting. That would be ideal, because then only you will be always up to date with what is required for your product. And then I would like to share about the UAE view from my end. Luno is currently not working in the UAE market, but we definitely looking into it. Since this is the key place for the big luxury brands and for travel companies that are there, and it reflects the ideal amount of innovation, luxury, high demand for these services, and of course about the cryptocurrency adoption there. We see that UAE within the next years, with the big cities, Dubai and Abu Dhabi, will become more and more developed in terms of crypto payments. I assume going through shopping in the malls, renting the car or yacht, whatever else will be much more easily and much more widely used with crypto payments as it is now. Yeah, I think that would be it from my side. Wish you good luck, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, Pavlo, for sharing your experience and insight. And NunuPay make everything simple for people and the store to use and accept crypto. So everyone to follow NunuPay on X for the latest update. And thank you again, Pablo, for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's all for today's session. And thank you to our speakers, and thank you to everyone who joined us. And a quick reminder, register for BNB Hack Abu Dhabi now and join us on site on December 5th and 6th. And that's all for today. See you later.